So we see here the chapter is titled as Marriage of Kardama Muni and Devhuti. And we heard that Srimad Bhagavatam is meant for satam, meant for pure devotees. It is meant for pure devotees or meant for people who are desirous to become pure devotees. If any other ulterior motive, Bhagavatam is not the place. That is not the place where one can go. So, we all are practicing spiritual life under the guidance of His Divine Grace, Srila Prabhupada, and we all have taken vows in spiritual life, and most of the time we hear that celibacy or brahmacharya or brahmachari life is most conducive for practicing spiritual life. Then we see here the chapter, the title is Marriage of Kardama Muni and Devhuti. Why these marriage descriptions? Very detailed descriptions are given about the rituals, about the customs, and even further you see the further chapters that how in the married life, how a husband and wife live together, they begot children, many children, all the detailed explanations are there. Let us see behind this whole descriptions who are involved in describing, hearing, or even the personalities about whom they are describing. First and foremost is these descriptions are coming as the previous text we read, Maitreya Vacha. Maitreya Muni is speaking. Who is Maitreya Muni? Maitreya Muni, such an exalted personality, where Lord Krishna personally invited him at his final pastime and given the final lessons along with Uddhava. So, and he said that Vidura is going to come and meet you in the future. That time you give these instructions. That means Maitreya has become Parampara Acharya, chosen, selected by Krishna. Nobody can become Guru just whimsically on their own. Now I got some knowledge, I will become Guru. No, he has to be personally selected by the previous Acharya. In this case, Lord Krishna himself has selected Maitreya Muni, chosen. Maitreya Muni is to transmit this knowledge further. Maitreya Muni, such an exalted personality. And he is not very eager. Okay, now I got this knowledge, let me go and make more and more disciples. No. He said in future Vidura come to you. So he is waiting. Whenever he comes, I will teach him. You see? And we know whom is speaking this whole subject matter to the Vidura, his disciple. And Vidura is such an exalted personality. He happened to meet Uddhava and he inquired about the Lord and he inquired about the final lessons what Lord has told before he left this planet or before he concluded his pastimes. So the Uddhava said, no. I am going to Badrikashram. The Maitreya is waiting for you. You please go and inquire from him. And Vidura goes to Maitreya Muni. Where? Haridwar, the banks of Ganges. So he goes and he listens from Maitreya Muni. In the previous sloka, we heard that how Maitreya Muni is addressing Vidura. What was as Saha Sa Ugradanvanna. That means the great says Maitreya said, Ugradvanvanna, oh great warrior Vidura. Have you heard in the Mahabharata where Vidura has gone and fought in the war field? Vidura is known for Vidura Niti, highly qualified devotee of the Lord. So much, such a great devotee, Krishna loves him so much. When Krishna went to Hastinapura, visited Hastinapura as a mediator, or to mediate, or to give some jnana to Duryodhana, but he had chosen to go and stay in Vidura's house instead of Vidura's house nahi bol sakta, Vidura's kuti. Instead of Duryodhana's palace. There you see that kind of bhavuk, the kind of ecstasy Vidura has gone through. He wanted to feed the Lord. He was peeling out the banana, and he is feeding what he is feeding? Peel. And Krishna enjoying it. So Vidura is such an exalted devotee, very dear to Krishna. Then why is referring him as a Ugrad Dhanvanna? Ugrad Dhanvan. See, Vidura did not fight as a warrior, but he is a spiritually potent person. He is a moral warrior. Vidura has a weapon. He did not had a, he did not had any other weapon like that arrows or any other weapon, but he had very piercing words which are truth. He will always stand behind the truth. He is the only person who very strongly opposed Kauravas in their own court. You see, he had such a strength to oppose. Such an exalted personality. Of course, we know Vidura is not an ordinary personality. He was actually Yamadharmaraj himself. And due to curse of Manduk Rishi, he has come as Vidura. And his birth, and he is the son of Vyasadeva from a maid servant. He had such a great humility and detachment. He was younger brother to Pandu and Dhritarashtra. Dhritarashtra being the elder brother, eldest one, because he is blind, who was made king? Pandu, next brother. But when Pandu died, Vidura should be chosen, no? Because ultimately why Pandu was made king? Because Dhritarashtra was blind. But when Pandu died, next Vidura should become king. But they chose no. Dhritarashtra, blind man, chosen against the Vidura. The only reason was he said that no, you are a son of a Shudra. So, but he did not resented it. He served the kingdom selflessly as a prime minister. That shows how greatness is. His greatness, he has a great humility and detached, and is a very unbiased, fearless speaker. He never compromised the truth. He openly condemned in the assembly when Draupadi was disrobed. He was openly condemned, whereas Bhishma and Drona, they all were sitting silently. And he did not even think twice when Duryodhana was born. He told to Dhritarashtra that this son is very poisonous. It's very poisonous. Your whole dynasty is going to perish due to this child. Better to abandon him. Better to kill him. Otherwise, the whole dynasty is going to be perished due to this child. He knows that Dhritarashtra is very attached, but still the truth has to be spoken. He spoke for the welfare of his brother, his family, and whole dynasty, whole society for that matter. But Dhritarashtra was so attached. He was so attached. See, people who are very attached to the family, it's very, very difficult to accept devotional service. It's a bandhana. That's how Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita. What he says? Vita raga. You have to give up the attachment. Vita raga bhaya krodha. Manmaya mam upashritaha. You can take shelter of me only when you are detached. Bauho jnana tapasa puta madbhavam agataha. There are so many people who have detached from themselves from this material entanglement and purified their existence. And madbhavam agataha. Madbhavam, they have attained Krishna consciousness. And whereas Dhritarashtra, we see that how the Lord Krishna personally goes and tells. And his guru, Vidura, personally teaches everything. And teaching is not working for him because anyway he is blinded, no. So Lord Krishna has given, he opened his eyes. He has given Jnana Chakshu. He showed his Vishwarupa. He showed his, he is not just a personality Krishna who is a family member. No, he is a supreme personality Godhead. But still, see this attachment, so much. Now we are hearing about here the marriage of Kardama Muni and Devhuti. Marriage means, which is going to bring attachment. If there is no attachment, there is no question of marriage. Isn't it? So, let us dwell a little bit about what is all about this marriage, or how this took place, and what is how that married life, how Devhuti and Kardama Muni married life was, and what is the end result of that marriage. It's a very important thing to understand. Devhuti marriage, as we are seeing here, Sonu Gnatva Vaisitam Maishya Dutihi Sputam, that he come to know that after having unmistakably known the decision of Queen as well as that of Devhuti. So that means Devhuti is already decided to marry Kardama Muni. That is also very important. How Devhuti decided to marry Kardama Muni? She only heard, she never met her, she never met him. She only heard about Kardama Muni from Narada Muni. We see this in Krishna's pastimes also. Rukmini Devi, in her whole life, she never met Lord Krishna. She only heard the glories of Lord Krishna from the bona fide authorized source, Narada Muni. So sometime, I remember in the olden days, in the sense, in my childhood and all the movies and all, they show Narada Muni as a joker, as a marriage broker, or they say kalaha, jagda karane wala. दिखाता है. But you see, even some marriage has to be settled. Somebody has to mediate the marriage. The mediator also has to be qualified person, not ordinary person. So Mother Rukmini, she heard about Lord Krishna from a bona fide source, and she developed so much of attraction. And my pati, Krishna is only my pati. And she write a letter. And Krishna, in emergency, Krishna lands up there And she never heard, she never seen Krishna, only heard about Krishna. When Krishna came in front of her, immediately she could recognize, oh, he is the Supreme Personality of Godhead. See, this is the power of hearing. Please complete the statement. Power of hearing from bona fide spiritual master, bona fide personality. If you hear from bona fide personality, you will be able to, even though you never had an experience, you never seen the Lord, but when you see the Lord, you will be able to not see, you will be able to actually realize He is the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Otherwise, Dhritarashtra kind of people, they see the Lord, but still they cannot understand He is the Supreme Personality of Godhead, because mohitaha. You see? So here, Mother Devhuti, she heard about sage Kardama Muni, and she gets so attracted. No, I wanted to marry him. And now, daughter expressed. Shatarupa, her mother, when she came and saw personally Kardama Muni, oh, such a saintly person, a tapasvi, and is not really eager to marry as such. This is another very important qualification of Kardama Muni. Perfect brahmachari, qualified brahmachari. He was, what is the qualification of a brahmachari? Nowadays we have people know brahmachari means unmarried. Unmarried is not brahmachari. You are unmarried but have so many, worldly connections. What is that kind of? Brahmachari means who is performing his duties in devotional service under the bona fide guidance. Performing his duties. See, brahmachari is an ashrama for spiritual growth, for spiritual progress, performing daily duties in devotional service. So he is a highly spiritual personality. So always meditating, absorbed. We heard in the previous text how he was so absorbed. His smile is so attracting. He is always absorbed on Krishna, on the lotus feet of Krishna. And he is such a qualified person, he is willing to follow the directions of his superiors, keeping his personal interests aside. Brahmachari life means student life. Brahmachari ashrama life, student life. He is willing to follow authorities. He did not have such a great interest that I wanted to get married. No, he was ordered by Brahma. Because he was a Prajapati. Here you do his duty as a Prajapati. You have to become progenitor. You get married. So he obeyed his. That's how, if you remember in one of the sloka, Manu is addressing Kardama Muni, that you have not taken the, what is that called, what is that said? You have not taken the lifetime celibacy vows. That means he is willing to follow his authority, keeping his personal interest aside. See, these are all very important principles. Most of the time, let us say how we supposed to. We are in ashram life, under the bona fide spiritual master, His Divine Grace Srila Prabhupada. Are we keeping our personal interests aside, and whatever Srila Prabhupada says? Srila Prabhupada, our Guru, is the direct representative of Krishna. And the temple leaders, especially Srila Prabhupada says the temple president is directly representing the Guru. Vaishnavas. So, whether we are holding on to our liking and disliking, or whether we are willing to forego our liking and disliking for the mission of Srila Prabhupada, on the directions of Srila Prabhupada, on the directions of our temple authorities. That makes our, see, brahmachari life means, saffron is not brahmachari life. First of all, saffron is not meant for brahmacharis. Saffron is given by, our grandfather, spiritual master, Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur, for the purpose of preaching. Brahmacharya means obeying, obedience. Anything is told by Guru, anything is told by authorities, that obedience makes you brahmachari. And a obedient, a good disciple, a good student, a brahmachari, he will become a good grihastha when he chooses to become grihastha. Or when he was asked by, in this case, Kardama Muni was asked. When he asked to become grihastha, to get married, because that is his duty as a progenitor, that was the duty entrusted on him, not that immediately he is going and looking for some girls. Okay, let me go and look for a beautiful girl. No, that was not mood. Even though he was obeying, but even to execute his duties as a Prajapati, still is invoking the blessings of the Lord. Oh Lord, no, I cannot do these duties on my own. How many years he did tapasya? 10,000 years? 10,000 years. 10,000 years to have darshan of the Lord. And what the purpose of the darshan? He wanted to seek his blessings. He wants him to guide. Oh Lord, please guide me. You choose for me the girl. Then Lord has, very soon Manu is going to come. Very soon Manu is going to come along with his daughter. So he is not disturbed. He is always dependent on the Lord. So this is the qualification of so when he sees such kind of qualified person, Shatrupa, yes, he is the right person for my daughter. He's the right person for my daughter. And he said, Sa anugnatva vaisitam mahishwa duhitasputam. When Manu saw that daughter is decided to get married to Kardama Muni, mother is also decided to give her daughter to this thing, then father, mother and daughter are both one party, then father kya karenge? So he also decided. Of course, he knows before the marriage, when Manu offered Devhuti, his daughter Devhuti, to Kardama Muni accepted gladly, but with one condition. That was more pleasing to Manu actually. What was the condition? Moment there are children, I'll hand over your daughter to her children and will go away. So that shows how detached he is. How detached he is. The detachment is coming from what? The detachment is coming from Vasudeve Bhagavati Bhakti Yoga Prayojitaha Janeti Ashvairagyam Jnanicha Brahmadarshanam. See such a, that vairagya coming from him, the detachment is coming. Even though he's getting married, he's going to lead a family life. Family life means there has to be attachment, no? There has to be attachment. Between husband and wife, there has to be attachment. Then only progeny can happen, no? But he's very detached. Because he is Vasudevi Bhagavati Bhakti Yoga Prayojita. He is always engaged in the devotion service of the Lord. And that's a Brahma Darshanam. He had the darshan of the Lord. Detachment, Jnana, the knowledge about the Lord, and Brahma Darshan, all three simultaneously happened. So he's a very qualified personality. So that's how Manu is very happy to give his daughter to emperor. The emperor most gladly gave his daughter to the sage whose host of virtues was equaled by hers. Okay, now marriage ceremony happened. Marriage is conducted. Now in the next sloka, in this sloka, I said what and all happened in the marriage ceremony. All the rituals are mentioned. One of the ritual is Kanyadana, handovering, giving the daughter in charity to the bride, to the bridegroom, and further giving all the gifts. It's called dowry. Now this is a very, in today's context, very controversial subject matter. केस डाल देंगे, पुलिस नहीं डालेंगे. डौरी दिया नहीं दिया, डौरी के नाम से हरासमेंट होता रहता है ना. सबसे पहले people are harassing for dowry. The groom is harassing the bride's family, and sometime groom is not harassing also. Bride wanted to harass, they will take this route. Very unfortunate things have. But what is the intent behind all these rituals? That's very important to understand. And many people, without understanding this intent behind all the rituals or customs for that matter, in the Vedic society or Indian culture, they develop an aversion to the very rituals or customs. So much so that they'll think that marriage kiske liye? The boy like girl, girl like boy, we living together. Living together. Shadi kiske liye? What is the necessity of marriage? Kya without marriage there can't be a sex? Or without marriage there can't be children? That is the kind of society. And all these things are coming from where? All the leftist, left brain. They're always against, Again, always questioning, but never is interested to understand. See, the whole Bhagavatam is a question and answers. Bhagavad Gita question and answer. Whole scriptures are question and answers. But a person should ask a question with the mood of understanding what is the intent behind it. But questioning for the sake of questioning, that is called leftist kind of mentality. They are not really interested to know the answers. They are not inquisitive. In fact, you see, when Saunaka Rishis asked the questions in the Bhagavatam, Sutta was so highly praised. Oh, beautiful. I am so much encouraged, enthusiastic to answer a question because your questions are Loka Kalyanartham, is going to bring auspicious to the whole society. Every questionnaire was actually appreciated. So somebody is asking question, not that they'll be categorized as a leftist or something. No, but people are not really interested when they are just willing. They develop an aversion. That's how Prabhupada says the importance of marriage in human society. The bodily needs are there. Ahar, nidra, bhayamoituna. These bodily needs not only for human beings. For every life is there. Animals also have this, all four these things. These are the necessities of life. In this material world, as long as you possess this body, necessities of bodily necessities. Ahara, nidra, bhayamoituna. But what is the difference between animal and human being? Animal indulged only this, their life is meant only for these four things. And human, a man or a human, you can spiritually advance. You take this vehicle, you take this as a sadhana. You take this ahara, nidra, bhayamoituna, as long as you're in this body, in the scriptures mention this body as a boat. and this world as a ocean, and Atma sitting in the body. So sitting in the boat, now you can use the person who is sitting in the boat, he can sail through this ocean, provided ocean water doesn't enter the boat. The ocean water enters the boat sinks. Very nicely paraphrased in one of the Amitabh Prabhu's class, that boat doesn't sink because water is around the boat. Boat sinks when water enters the boat. We are in this material world. Material world means we are always demand. The demands are there. Ahar, nidra, bhaya. We cannot survive without these four things. That's the way this body designed. Oh, because of that I am getting conditioned. Because of that I'm no. Not because of that. You are doing only that because of that. If you do only that, you will become no better than animal. But use this all this ahara, nidra, bhaya, even maithuna for that matter. Use it as a vehicle, as a boat for the spiritual emancipation, to perfect your life. And that kind of perfecting life can come only there is a samskara, a regulated life. Samskaras are meant to regulate eating, regulate sleeping, regulating the maithuna, the sexual impetus or indulgence, everything regulate. And somebody spiritually highly advanced, he has to bring down zero. Is practically. Sex I thought zero. From beginning he has to keep it aside. Anybody is interested in spiritual life, first and foremost, first qualification, or first, what is not qualification, what is that? First precondition for practicing yoga. What is that? Abstain from sex. If you are interested in spiritual life, keep sex away. That's how yogis, they give abstain from sex, then they go to fast and perform. And ahara nidra, slowly you can reduce it. Slowly you can reduce. That is gradually. But first thing is, what they call in English? Hard stop bolta hai. If spiritually you want to incline. But still, you're not able to overcome for whatever reason, because of, like बोलते हैं ना, वाइन बॉटल कितना भी साफ करो, वो वासना जाता नहीं है, इतना आसान से जाता नहीं है. Because of so much of this thing, you're external or internal, whatever reason, still you are not able to come out. But follow the samskara, vivaha samskara. And that's how Srila Prabhupada in this very sloka, the lecture, the sloka of Bhagavad Gita sloka, what is that? Dharma aviruddha kamosmi. To that sloka, the class Srila Prabhupada says that how dharma aviruddha kamosmi. Krishna says, I am dharma aviruddha. Then what is dharma viruddha? We know what is dharma viruddha. So dharma viruddha is dharma is meant for. See, dharma, what is dharma? Anything is given by Krishna. What is it? Dharma to sakshat bhagavat pranitam. Whether Krishna will give anything which will drown you in this world, daldal mein घुसाने के लिए दे देता है कोई instruction. The very purpose of any instruction by father, by compassionate father, loving compassionate father, is meant to आपको उद्धार के लिए. So dharma to sakshat bhagavat pranitam, that dharma was given by the Lord is meant for हमारा उद्धार के लिए, डुबाने के लिए नहीं है. And viruddha means you are going against the dharma. That means sinful activities. Sinful activities are the one who is pulling you down. दलदल में और खींच रहा है आपको. That means anything which is become an obstacle for you to move towards Krishna or move towards liberation, that is viruddha. Anything an obstacle, and sense gratification is the biggest obstacle. So Krishna says dharma aviruddha, which is not against the principles of dharma. Even such kind of sex life, such kind of family life is sanctioned, is approved. So that's how the Garbhadana Samskara was there. Prabhupada says in that lecture that how the marriage is celebrated. Marriage is celebrated. It's not that secretly nowadays now, कुछ ऑफिस में गया, साइन कर दिया, and माला चेंज कर दिया, शादी हो गया. No. It's a great celebration. You're announcing to the whole world, at least to the known circles, relatives, friends, villagers, with a great joy to celebrate it. Likewise, in the traditional families, especially in the Brahminical families, Brahminical families, that where even the milan, husband-wife milan, this Garbhadana Samskara was celebrated, घोषित किया जाता है, ब्राह्मणों को बुलाया जाता है, पूजा पाठ किया जाता है, elderly people's आशीर्वाद was taken. We are going to meet for the purpose of producing a child. It is a celebration. Without announcing, secretly, दूर जाके secretly करने का चीज होता है, that is Prabhupada says Shudras, among the Shudras that happens. Because mostly it is done for sense gratification. Mostly it is done for sense gratification. So, the Garbhadana Samskara is very, very important principle which is recommended, that where the time is fixed, it is announced and mentally prepared, like of course, like Prabhupada said in ISKCON, the Grihastha devotees, they chant 50 rounds. They're supposed to chant 50 rounds and pray to Guru, pray to the deities. And right time, that also Prabhupada, as a spiritual master, there's nothing, Prabhupada is not given to his disciples. When to meet, even time, date, day, everything is told. Why it is so deeply told? Because we have examples of how Diti, Kashyapa, what happened. Untimely sex, driven by passion, not driven by principles. What happened? Such kind of, unworthy children are born. And they brought so much of destruction to the whole society. So, this material world, we are committing so many sinful actions, sinful activities. So, we are responsible for that. So, that's how these things, very important, what we do, how we behave, how we conduct, all these things has to be driven or governed by principles of religion, dharma. So, it's very important. Even materially speaking, what we eat, very important. How much we sleep, that is very important. Nowadays everybody having health problems because, eating has become, anything is available, we are eating. There's nothing, and what is available is all polluted. So, eating is also has to be regulated, what to be taken. Of course, higher principle is the only prasadam. And even that prasadam also, for spiritually enlightened person, everything is in transcendental. But we are the practitioners, we have to be a little careful what to eat, how much to eat, Everything. Prabhupada says all health problems come from two places. One is digestion from the stomach, another is source of disease, mind. So keep your mind peaceful by chanting Hare Krishna Mahamantra and reading Shastra and hearing only Krishna Katha, and keep yourself healthy by taking only Krishna Prasadam, and that too conscious about what you are eating, what suits to you, what doesn't suit to you. You are the best doctor for yourself. Everybody knows, oh, this is not good, but still they eat because of sense gratification. That's how one has to regulate his life. So it is a responsibility. We see here how the Manu is very eager to marry off her daughter to Kardama Muni, because it's a responsibility of the father to take the daughter, and until she get married, and later on when the Grihastha Ashram, when he handed over the daughter, and it's the responsibility of the husband to take care of that girl. And that's how things are. Varnashrama system or Daivi Varnashrama system is designed. After some time, you should not be too attached to the children. Once you get married, then husband, the daughter is in the custody of her son-in-law. But nowadays, even after marriage also, they're constantly in touch with the daughter, and that's how they spoil their lives also, their family life also. That's what Shastra said. After 50 years, what is it called? Panchoshvardham vanam rajet. 50 साल के बाद अब वन चले जाना चाहिए. वन मतलब भक्ति में जाना चाहिए. Otherwise what will happen? You will miss the flight to you will miss the flight to Vaikuntha. Very difficult. One should be fully detached. Manu is such an exalted personality. He wanted just to hand over to the qualified person, so that his daughter can be taken care. This is a big mistake we do. We're so attached to, for example, if you wanted to go to a train, journey, you rush to catch the train, you goes to the platform, so much calculation did, so much hurried. After going there, you reach the platform, then somebody is saying, what are they called? ग्राउंडनट ग्राउंड क्या बोलते हैं, मूंगफली बोलता रहता है. सो बहुत अट्रैक्टिव हो गया. सो जाके आया, थोड़ा एक पेट मूंगफली दे दो, बैठ के खाने लगा. अरे इतना जल्दीबाजी में गया, उधर प्लेटफॉर्म के ऊपर गया और मूंगफली खा के बैठा है, और ट्रेन चला गया. इतना भागदौड़ करके उधर क्यों गया? So that should not happen in our life. We have given up everything. Came to spiritual life, and after coming to ashram life, spiritual life, and we are attached. थोड़ा मूंगफली मिल रहा है इधर. What is that मूंगफली? लाभा, पूजा, लाभा, प्रतिष्ठा. कोई बोल दिया, प्रभु जी कितना अच्छा डिवोटी है आप, कितना अच्छा गाता है आप. You see, we get attached and we miss the bus. And we should learn everything, whatever comes in our life, everything should be given away. Given away to Guru and Krishna. That is a real renouncement. See, it is if you wanted to follow all this process, what is recommended in the scriptures, in Varnashrama, Daivi Varnashrama, where till 50 years you have get married, have children, then marry them off, then further after the 50 years you renounce everything, take vanaprastha, then take sannyasa. Very long process, which very much suitable for those ages. Those ages is very much suitable. But in Kali Yuga, everything is topsy-turvy. Everything topsy-turvy. So Kali Yuga is very difficult. That's how Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya asked Chaitanya Mahaprabhu in Jagannath Puri, among all the devotional practices recommended in the scriptures, what is the best thing? Sreshtaha. Among all the practices, what is the best thing? Chaitanya Mahaprabhu says, Nama Sankirtanam. Nama Sankirtanam is the best, sarvasreshta cheez hai. So chanting Hare Krishna Mahamantra religiously, regulated way, under the guidance of a bona fide spiritual master, Shaktavesha Avatara, Srila Prabhupada, will purify our existence. Purify our existence. Then, no, somebody has such kind of inclinations, no, chanting alone is no, thoda bahut udhar bhi jana hai, idhar bhi jana hai. Then you go by the strict scriptural intention. At least take the reference. Don't become, क्या बोलता है, vagabond is too bad word to use. Don't become demoniac. Don't become one of the person of this world, because very mulyavan hai, very what to say, precious life we got. What is the life we got? A precious life, not the birth. Precious life is shelter of Srila Prabhupada. Very precious. Rarely we get. Because Krishna said in the Bhagavad Gita, Bhavanam janmanam ante ज्ञानवान मां प्रपद्यते. किसको ज्ञान, कौन है इधर ज्ञानवान? प्रपद्यते. No, none of us are ज्ञानवान, but still we surrendered. प्रपद्यते. What was that? Causeless message of Srila Prabhupada. We should not lose this opportunity. But even so, strictly go by the practice of this Nama Sankirtana, chant the holy name, take the rasa in chanting and hearing and reading Srimad Bhagavatam, devotee association, then all other ahara, nidra, bhaya, maituna, everything will be regulated. Even sometime has to be taken that step, then immediately follow the Varnashram system. Oh, these are the example. What are the kind of qualities? What are the kind of qualification? What are the kind of system? A devotee, how a devotee should conduct even in the marriage life, so that he doesn't get lost, he doesn't miss the bus or miss the flight. See, that's what happened to Dhruva Maharaj. What happened to Dhruva Maharaj? He is least interested. I don't want anything. Kachan, Vanna, Vichanna, Api, Ratnam. I got so beautiful jewel. Why you want this? Tukda. I don't want. But still say, no. You don't want, but I am giving. You take it. Krishna has given. You got attached? No. He is very detached. The right time came, flight came, and he went in the Vaikuntha flight. So devotee life is like that. Devotee life should be always driven by the instructions of Guru. One should not whimsically take decisions in spiritual life, because spiritual life means prapadyante, surrendered life. Surrendered life. We'll stop here in question or comments. ग्रंथराज श्रीमद् भागवतम की, विश्व गुरु श्रील प्रभुपाद की जय.